want you guys to focus in on what's actually happening here. See, this man, you see, he have a scanner, right? And he's scanning that package. I have the video. You can hear the scanner. It goes off. Tick, tick. He's scanning the package. I'm standing here in my yard, in my driveway, recording what he's doing. Because at this point, I don't call on to who he is. So he's over here actually to fool me. So here, listen, I'm just trying to get you to understand the magnitude of the scheme. To hide his true identity, this person who's claiming to be this OIG officer, she's the one in control of everything. She's in charge of the whole ring. She's in charge of the entire ring that you see. All these people that's going on. She managed this man here. She managed this man here. This man, you see, keep using our neighbor. Going up to their house, scanning a package. But whose name do you think if he told you in his truck that he's Mr. Cooper, and he's been over here 3 years, whose name do you think that he's using? Whose name do you believe he's using when he scans, right? Because on that day at that time, I got a video showing that he was pretending, if he wasn't scanning, he was pretending. So he was scanning a package on that particular day and that particular time. So the post office have no problem. The post inspector have no problem going back to that time, that day, find out what name he scanned under, right? What they thought was clever was what was damaging. Now, that's what he's doing, right? But what's wrong? But what it shows is that he's using this and using our neighbors as a part of his witness. But so now the neighbors are witnessing this man who's saying he's Clark Cooper, scanning a package on that day. And on this day, which is a totally different day and a totally different man, this man here, you see in this truck, eventually, he comes back, he leaves this subdivision. This is the person who said that they is an investigator. They're inside the house talking with the neighbors now. He's been staged to do exactly what you saw the other man do. When he leaves, he comes back, he takes a package to their house, and he takes a package across the streets. Right? So what does that mean to you? That means that, okay, the first man didn't work. So now they done moved on from him, and they want to now try to really bring in the real Mr. Cooper, because the fake Mr. Cooper is not going to work, right? It's not even realistic, right? He's not in the database. The supervisor, you go ask the post inspector directly a question, he can never say that man is a post employee, right? So that's just the reality, okay? Let's just get to reality here. He can never do it. So, but he can say that this man's a post employee because he is Mr. Cooper. So this man, they need to switch this man out. So now he's doing the exact same thing. But what's wrong is this person that convinced the neighbors that it's okay to do this. A part of her investigation. A part of her investigation is for you to accept packages, gifts, basically gifts, because that's what they are. Accept gifts. These people are going to bring gifts to your property. You're going to accept them. And when they accept them, there's going to be validation that this person was here. He's going to scan it. You're going to be here, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here investigating. And just happen to be, Mr. Cooper comes to your house with his name tag on, scans the package, and I see him, and I'm saying I'm an investigator, and you see him. So you're a witness. But this is something that she's telling them to do. It's like entrapment, right? When we go into entrapment, This is not something they would do on it that they planned on doing. This person is coming along telling them that she's a federal agent. But a federal agent is telling you to do things that's illegal, to do crime, pretend, lie with me, and say cover us, and make it so we're gonna use you to take packages, so we can create an alibi. We want to create a record, but we need you as a witness. So somewhere down the line, I'm going to use you and have you to testify that you was there and you saw him. But all of this has been done because they believe this person is a real federal agent. Now, let's say they was a real federal agent. Think about what they're doing. Look what they're doing. Now, the person supposed to be looking into the claim. Roll us telling us they're looking into the behavior, the conduct of the mail carrier. But do that look like that's what the person is doing over there? When they're doing all of that? It looks like this person is working to run a scam. Looking into the conduct of the carrier. By telling our neighbors to accept packages? But you told them to accept packages from the other guy too. They're saying he Mr. Cooper. So you're using packages as a part of your investigation tool. And you're using neighbors. So you're staging. So you're trying to create a report, and you're staging the report you want it to be. But here's the thing. You're not an agent. You don't work for the OIG or no one else. So you're going to so the report we're going to get is going to be a fake report like everything else, right? And think about the guy, the one who's saying he's the postal inspector. He's sending us, it's a connect. So some kind of way, this person on the inside, because I just showed you, Mr. Cooper, look at her. She's got connections on the inside. The man, listen, we make a report to go to the OIG and the postal inspector. This is what we get out of it. A con game. So we done went to the website that's, we haven't heard anything that the website have been hacked or anything like that, right? So we haven't heard anything like that. So it's supposed to be secure. This person has got connections on the inside of the post office and the OIG office. Because he's telling us, I want to get to what he said. He's telling us to go to the OIG. He's guiding us to go over to the OIG. Okay, here we go. Now, he's telling us to go to the OIG. So, we done heard, I don't need to show it again, you done heard that the police done identified his ID as a fraud, right? But he's saying go to the OIG. So when we go to the OIG, we're gonna contact the OIG, and someone's gonna guide us to this person. There's something going on. This OIG office has to be investigated, and so does the post office, right?
Okay. My investigation shows that's not true. I understand we disagree with that. Okay. So that's why I responded today. Okay. If you have allegations of fraud or theft or something like that with an internal employee, it's postal OIG. That's Office of Inspector General. Okay. So they would investigate me too if I did something wrong. So we can investigate our own just to kind of have a separation of that. Okay. I would reach out to them. I will also kick it to my boss to see if, and postal management, if they want to sit down and have a meeting with you guys. I can't.
So this guy. But here's the thing. What he's telling me would be, okay if he was really a real postal inspector, but he's not. So he's impersonating someone, right? And he's saying go over to the OIG. So when I go over there, I just showed you. When I go over there, if I take his advice, right? He's gonna try to set up a meeting for his supervisors and all that to get with me, and all that is excuse me. All that is is to get me to butter me up, to get me over there, to do what he want me to do. But he clearly here to send that message, to do a couple of things. Show me a photo of the guy and say he's real, and he's a federal agent, and he can talk on that issue because he's federal agent. And then he's telling me to go to OIG. Now, this person already done contact me beforehand, telling me that they're looking into the conduct. So when I go to the OIG, I'm going to be directed to this person here. I'm going to be directed back to this person here. And that's the person that you see over here in my neighborhood. Convincing people that she's a federal agent. And part of her investigation requires that they accept packages. So that accept package from the one guy who's saying he's Mr. Cooper, that don't work. Now accept package from the real Mr. Cooper. Now, here's the problem with that. Again, I keep hitting on this. This was before my wife called 911 on this guy. You see this other truck here. He's here. He's giving him all type of support. You know, the 911 operator is asking what's going on, right? Because you can hear some type of noise in the background, right? It appears that someone is talking. He's been distracted because time to time he stopped talking, and you can tell that he's listening and whatever with this person, right? But do you think the police report described this man involved in this? No. Did he tell 911 operator that he's here with a fellow postal carrier, and his name is such and such? You can't give his name because they're named out now. They already got enough problems right now with the name game, right? So he can't be here to give another name. He can't give another. They can't do that. Can't give another name. So he just simply cannot be here. Because if he could have given another name, he said, my name is Larry Woods, Larry Poo Poo, right? Anything. John Boy, right? But he can't give another name. So he has to leave. So when the police get here and start pulling his pad out and start saying, where's your name, sir? Okay. And your truck number is such and such. And all this is going to be on the police body cam, by the way. And who are you? I'm Mr. Cooper. Okay. And you're who? John Boy. Okay. John Boy was here talking with Mr. Cooper. What did you see, John Boy? So it can't happen, right? So he just have to be gone. But both guys are in my neighborhood taking packages up to neighbor homes, creating an alibi by scanning. They're scanning merchandise. So what do you see here? What's going on? Somewhere merchandise have been involved. Who bought the merchandise? How did they get the merchandise? You see what I'm saying? How did they get the merchandise? Now you see that man is gone. That truck is no longer there when the police is here. So the police can't talk to somebody that they don't see, right? But that truck is still backed up in these people's driveway. Hiding. Right? Hiding, right? So what he's doing is, from this view, the police is telling us to stay back. They won't. So we never went. My wife never went up there, and I never went up there. So we're right here. We're staying back, and they're telling him to stay up there and telling us to stay here. So they're separating the two of us, right? But listen, we still caught a glimpse of his truck where he's trying to hide because this number's on the back of the truck. That's why he got his truck pulled in the driveway so you can't see the truck that he's in. Because they want to claim it was 331 5923 that was there. But look, 431-7375. You see him standing on the side of the truck, right? Right? But the reason that truck is bagged in, because they want to show it was this. You see that? They want to show it was this truck there on the scene. 3315923. This is Mr. Cooper. This is a dead scheme. This is a dead scheme, right? It's a total dead scheme. It cannot fly. You got neighbors who are witnesses to someone telling them to accept packages that they have created for them to receive, just so this man can have his ID on and scan his package. Okay, let me show you. Just so he can scan a package, and the same thing with this other guy. He can scan a package as well. Trying to see here. So he can scan a package as well, right? So you got all these people going around scanning packages. So what you have in common here? Packages. It requires, the scheme requires you to accept packages. That's how the post office validates who was at your property. That's how they validate. That's their way of validating, right? Clearly, right? So that's what someone is doing. But you know that information from being on the inside. Someone have gave you that information from the inside. What do you have in his hand? What's in his hand right there? A scanner. But he's going up, this other man is going up to the neighbor house as well, scanning as Mr. Cooper. This is where the scheme breaks down at. This is where the scheme breaks down at. This is where it's bad at. This is where it's ugly at. Right? This is where it's ugly at. What do you see right there? What do you see right here? That's a scanner. On video, you see him put the scanner down before he pick up the box to bring to our house. He scanned that He scanned the package, then he puts the scanner down in the truck. He brings his package to our house. You see, this is another man. This is the real Mr. Cooper. He scans this Mr. Cooper too, and he goes to the neighbor house and scans this Mr. Cooper. And he goes across the street. Now, our package is real. This is something my daughter have ordered. This is something my daughter have ordered for a friend of hers. Friend is having a baby or something like that. She ordered something for the baby. So look how clever it is. The person know that we're going to get this delivery, and they take advantage of, well, while you're here delivering that, we got a delivery come to their house. We're going to use you to go to the neighbor house across the street and next door, and I'm going to be here as a witness. So we're going to have all these witnesses, and I'm going to create a fake report. And guess who's going to be the ones, and my neighbor here is in the HOA, and guess who's going to be the one who's going to deliver the report? The HOA board. But we got a problem with that letter that came to us. It's unscanned. We have a neighbor, the same neighbor next door is telling us that was left in his mailbox. But the mailman who actually is supposed to have left it is telling us that the mail that he had for me that day, he showed it to me. And of course we have it recorded, every single piece of mail that he gave us that night, that evening. And so that letter that's supposed to be from the board to have a meeting, and of course we didn't show up. It's unscanned. But the person who's supposed to have sent the thing from this management company is telling us, at least if we get an email from this person, but that email I'm pretty sure had been spoofed. I'm pretty sure it's not the person talking to us. The spoofer is telling us that it was delivered straight, they went straight to the post office. How in the world did a letter that you sent to the post office, you mailed from the post office, get to your house, get to the neighbor house? The neighbor, look, think about it again. Here's a neighbor who got the letter, and it's unscanned. That means that if you did take the letter in the post office, that means that someone inside the post office removed it from going through the regular processing to hide that it ever existed and gave it to some mail carrier, right? And some mail carrier brought it to you personally. They specially delivered that letter. What else could it be? We got a major scheme going on here. This is what, if that's what they're involved in, that's what you're involved in. People are using people by pretending to be agents and telling them this is what they need to do. And people are doing it out of fear or whatever reason they're doing it. I don't know why they're doing it. But this is for the investigators to find out, right? I got a neighbor next door saying he's a federal agent. And I'm receiving threats from his from his text. And he's telling me the part that say he's a federal agent, he said, but the threatened part about being enlisted to kill for the government, he didn't say. And guess what? My house, soon after that I received that, not shortly after that, my property was shot at. And it appears to come from his backyard. Now I'm receiving messages from his phone number at least, saying that he's an expert in weapons and the bullet came from somewhere else. Now he's trying to tell me it came from somewhere else. This is what coming from his phone. So he's trying to avoid the bullet coming from his property when the evidence showed that it came from the direction. But again, I seriously doubt that's him texting me. Someone is spoofing his number. But if it turns out that he's not being truthful, then that means he's trying to hide and cover for someone. You see everyone else is doing it, right? And this person comes over to our house with their Dodge Durango, right? So foolish with their vehicle there, their personal vehicle. Because they're the only reason they can have it, they can't have no marked vehicle because they're not a federal agent. That's why. That's why. They're not a federal agent. So if you are listening to this, and I have made you aware, we went to the board, we went everywhere. We went to the management team, we don't went everywhere. HOA board, we don't went everywhere. If you're listening, and we have told you over and over, you have to go to the authorities because you've been duped, right? Clearly, you know at this point, this has been a whole entire scam. So you don't have to ask what scheme, George, no more. You don't have to ask that no more. Because you know yourself what scheme. You know clearly the scheme. But you need to go to the authorities. That's what you need to do. Please go to the authorities.